Guys, I hope you're well. Welcome to another video, and you've got Mr. Everything English. Now, before we begin, guys, if you're not already following me on Instagram or TikTok, please do go over there and do click on follow. Now, guys, let's begin. Paper 1, question 5. Guys, when it comes to paper 1, question 5, you're marked on two things. You're marked on your content and you're marked on your language. Your content is what you write. Your language is how you write it. But they both cross over because you have to have good language to have good content and vice versa. Now, there are 4 things that you have to do. This is not up for debate. This is not a kind of request. It is a must. You have to do these 4 things to make sure you get 33 plus out of 40 for question 5. The 4 things are, guys, in your writing, you must have a range of punctuation, a range of language devices, a range of structural devices, and a range of vocabulary. Now, notice, guys, I keep saying range. You can't use the same ones over and over again. Now, you guys are in year 11. You've got your GCSEs coming up. When it comes to punctuation, commas and full stops just don't cut it. You want to use, guys, exclamation marks. You want to use question marks. You want to use semicolons. You want to use colons. And you want to use brackets. Guys, you need to use these 5 pieces of punctuation throughout your writing, throughout your story. Maybe 1 per paragraph. Exclamation mark, guys, we use it before a command or when someone is shouting. Question mark, the answer is in the phrase. We use it after a question. Guys, semicolon can be used before a long list. So if your list is more than 3, you can use a semicolon. Or you can use a semicolon to replace the word and. For example, I went to the shops and I purchased some eggs. I went to the shops, semicolon, I purchased some eggs. Guys, a colon can be used before a short list, which is a list of 3. Or it can be used to introduce something or before a command. And brackets, guys, is used for extra information. Mr. Everything English was wearing a jumper, brackets, green, close bracket. You provide the reader with extra info. Please use them inside your story. Second thing, guys, you must have a range of structural devices. Now, I'm not going to go over every single structural device. I've already got videos on this. But in your story, what are the ones that you must have? Guys, please make sure you have examples of dialogue. Dialogue is basically people talking. He said, she said. Have that inside your story. Second thing, please make sure you have long and short paragraphs. Guys, please make sure you have long and short paragraphs. Now, long paragraphs, I'm not too worried about. I think a lot of you here will quite confidently be able to use long paragraphs. But guys, when I say short paragraphs, I mean a paragraph that is no longer than 1 line long. You want to shove it in the examiner's face. Here, give me the mark for my short paragraph. So please make sure, guys, you have a paragraph that is 1 line long, at least twice inside your story. Then, guys, speaking about long and short, you must also have long and short sentences. Now, again, my concern isn't that you can't do long sentences, but I want you all to have at least 2 sentences that are 1 word long. Last night, I ate pizza, full stop, amazing, exclamation mark. It was the best I'd ever eaten. Please have really short paragraphs and really short sentences. Twice of each is enough in your entire story. Then, guys, you must try to use cyclical. Now, this one, and this one, they are a must. Guys, when it comes to a cyclical structure, I will give you guys a little bit of leeway. A cyclical structure is when the opening and the ending of your story is similar or the same. So you might start with somebody having a dream and you might end with them having a dream. Or you might start with somebody very afraid, but at the end they're still afraid. This is a cyclical structure. Now, guys, this and this, use it in your writing. Please don't watch this video and let it go in one ear and out the other. Please pause. Make a note of what you have to do. Then plan a story. And in every single paragraph, insert one of these and look at having one of these. Now those two are the easy ones. Now we move on to the big boys. We move on to vocabulary and we move on to language. Language devices and ambitious words. Let's start, guys, with language devices. I'm just going to make a pure list of a few different language devices and then I will go over them. So guys, you've got simile, metaphor, oxymoron, alliteration. Let's go for onomatopoeia. Let's go for juxtaposition. And let's go for hyperbole. Now guys, I could probably go for another 15, but I don't want to bore you all by listing so many language devices in this one video. If you want to cover language devices, guys, I've got a whole video where I go through different language devices. But for the sake of this video, guys, in every single paragraph of your story, you want to include at least 2 different language devices. So in paragraph 1, you may have a simile and a metaphor. In paragraph 2, you may have oxymoron and hyperbole. In paragraph 3, you may have alliteration. Every single paragraph, you want to insert a different language device because you must have a range. Now guys, very quickly, what is a simile? A simile is when you compare 2 things using like or as. A metaphor is when you say something is something. For example, Mr. Everything English is a giant. Onomatopoeia, guys, is when you describe a sound. The clock went tick tock, tick tock. The car went zoom. Oxymoron, guys, is when you have 2 opposite words. I know somebody who is a very small giant. Small giant are 2 opposite words. Ugly baby are 2 opposite words. Guys, alliteration is when you have words in a row which begin with the same letter, the big blue ball. Juxtaposition is when you have 2 contrasting ideas. For example, if I wrote a whole story about how much I love COVID-19, I've juxtaposed the idea of COVID-19. And finally, guys, you must have hyperbole. Hyperbole, guys, the answer is in the name, hype. It's when you overhype, when you over-exaggerate certain things. So guys, so far, let me recap. In our story, we haven't even spoken about plot. In our story, guys, so far, we must have a range of language devices, a range of punctuation, a range of structural devices, and now, finally, we come to the most important one. We must have a range of vocabulary. How do you find good words? How do you find good vocabulary? First, you think of basic words. Let's think of sad, happy, angry, and let's do evil for now. You think of very basic words. These are very, very basic words. Then you go to www.thesaurus.com, you type in this basic word, and it will give you a list of alternatives. You simply pick one of those words. For example, an alternative for the word sad is the word morose. So going forward, guys, I will never use the word sad. Instead, I will use the word morose. An alternative for the word happy is maybe the word euphoric. I feel euphoric. It's extreme happiness. So guys, going forward, I may now never use the word happy in my writing. I will use the word euphoric instead. The word angry, guys, indignant. If you feel indignant, you feel extremely angry. Going forward, I will no longer use the word angry. Now finally, guys, the word evil can be replaced with the word malevolent. Now, what have I just done there, guys? What have I just done there? I have shown you how to find ambitious words. You simply replace basic adjectives and basic verbs with bigger words. It's basically all you're doing, guys. You're finding bigger words to use in your exam. Guys, look, I have not spoken about plot at all. I've got it up there, but I've not spoken about it. Why haven't I spoken about it? Because, guys, your plot is important, but everything around it is way more important. Your punctuation, your language devices, your structure, and your vocab. Those 4 things are the most important things when it comes to your story. Everyone can write a story. Children in year 5 can write stories. For our exam, we are not entering a story writing competition. We are entering an English language GCSE exam. You must have a good plot, but you must have even better use of punctuation, language devices, vocabulary, and structure. In every single paragraph, you want to have 1 piece of punctuation, other than commas and full stops. In every single paragraph, you want to have 2 different language devices. In every single paragraph, you want to have 2 ambitious words. And throughout your piece of writing, you want to have 2 short paragraphs that are no more than 1 line long. You want to have 2 short sentences that are no more than 1 word long. You want to have maybe 2 different examples of dialogue where maybe your character is talking. And you want to try to have a cyclical structure where the opening and the ending of your story is similar. Guys, this is what you must do to ensure you get a very good grade for paper 1, question 5, which is writing a story. Alright guys, I will end the video there because you probably are getting sick of my voice. I hope you found this video beneficial. I've got videos on the same content, but different angles up on my Insta and TikTok. So guys, do check it out. Anyway guys, take care of yourselves. It's been Mr. Everything English. Peace.